another big story of an Indian origin journalist who was heckled in Canada. Sameer Kaushal was heckled in Canada. We have those visuals as well of the heckling that went on. And we have him joining us live on the broadcast. Sameer Kaushal, thank you for joining us. First, I want to ask you in your own words, what exactly happened? We suddenly saw in these visuals a group of Khalistan, pro-Khalistan supporters coming and heckling you there.
Yes, thank you so much for taking me, first of all. And yesterday, on March 19th, according to the Pacific Standard Time, 6 o'clock, we were having an event over here by Indo-Canadian Diaspora to welcome the Indian High Commissioner. That was his first visit after his appointment to the west coast of Canada. So he was supposed to be here at an event. So I was invited by the organizers to meet the Indian High Commissioner over there, Mr. Sanjay Kumar Verma. And when I went there, I saw at the front gate that the gate was blocked by the pro-Khalistani supporters, and they were raising their slogans. And I asked the RCMP officers, those who were just standing over there, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police officers, if I can go in. They said no, the gate is locked, and the full way is blocked, and no one can go inside, but you can check with the protesters. So I request one of the protesters if I can go in, as I showed them my business card as well, that I have been invited by the organizers, and they said that they simply refused, that no one can go in. Then I asked them, since I am here and you are protesting over here against the Indian government, can I take your statement or any of your organizers' statement? By listening this, I think the person who was addressing the supporters, his supporters over there, he just start, using the abusive language, derogatory words, and deliberately, approximately more than 2 dozen youngsters, those who have covered their faces with the clothes, they just, circling around me, and they just swarmed on me and throwing abusive language, pushing me with their hands, and using the abusive words against me. And RCMP was looking. I mean, the way they were just pushing me, and they were saying, you have to leave, you cannot stay here. And then RCMP intervened, and they pulled me out from that crowd. And even the RCMP, I am a Canadian citizen, I am a Canadian passport holder, I am a taxpayer over here, but surprisingly, Canadian RCMP, my city is Surrey RCMP, they told me that I have to leave the place for my own safety. They said, we cannot provide you the security over here, and you have to leave. And then I told them that my car is parked on the other way. They said, no, you cannot go by yourself. We are going to give you a ride to that place. So you can feel that intensity or the seriousness of that situation.
Okay, so that's the most startling part of what you've said, that the police officials were there at the spot. This was not a case of a lack of security. Police officials were there, but instead of taking action on those who were heckling you, instead you were whisked away from the spot. Why do you think that is? Do you see that the police officials were trying to perhaps shield these protesters, not picking them away from the spot, instead taking you away from there?
I'll give you 2 words. It is my personal opinion, and I think the police the Surrey RCMP was acting as a mute spectator with the silent approval to the protesters to do whatever they want to do.
Okay, why do you think that is?
Because they saw me. I mean, they were heckling with me, and before me there was another guy. The guy has been beaten up by the crowd over there, by the mob over there, and I don't think they have done anything after that. I saw in some media reports that RCMP, they opened the investigation, but no arrest has been made yet, no charges has been laid yet. So still, if the investigation is on, what they are waiting for, they have witnessed that the attack on an individual, another individual. They saw that the youngsters over there, those who have covered their face with the clothes, they were pushing me around. Nobody tried to stop them. Instead of stopping them, they were taking me out from that place, and it was a public place where they were asking me to leave.
Okay, all right. And, can you tell us a little more about, the fact that you were allegedly targeted because of your Indian origin? What are the chants that they were giving out there? Were there any chants that was anti-India? Was it against the Indian government? What was it about?
it's again very surprisingly I am from Indian origin, and the protesters are from Indian origin. They are from most of them. I'm very much sure they are from Punjab as well. I'm not sure if they has been sponsored by any other foreign entity or not. But they basically try to give me a tag of Indian agent or agency ka banda or Modi ka kharida hua, this kind of terminology which they usually use for a person who always, because I am a journalist as well, and I try to give the factual situation of India, the Indian policies, and I think they don't like to listen to the positive part of India, and I think that's why deliberately I was on their radar.
Okay, I'm sure you're aware here there's a big crackdown on Amritpal Singh, who is a pro-Khalistan leader in the country, because of which we've seen a concerted effort not just within India but also outside, including Canada, UK and the United States, with a lot of people who have come out in support for Amritpal Singh. In Canada, you said you've been there for several years now. Are you now seeing a resurgence of the pro-Khalistan voices? In fact, several of the Canadian MPs have also come out in support of Amritpal, saying they're concerned with what's happening in Punjab. So give us a sense of what's happening in Canada, if you are seeing a resurgence of such a thought, a lot of mob or a lot of people who are coming out in support.
I think in Amritpal's support, that is a secondary thing. The people or the MPs are more concerned about the internet blackout. They are more concerned about the communication blackout. So that is the main concern, I think, with the politicians over here. Yes, there are Amritpal sympathizers over here. There are people with the Khalistan ideology, those who are having, those who are standing in support of Amritpal Singh as well. There are a number of people, those who have this ideology, especially on the East Coast, especially on Toronto side, where they held a Khalistani referendum, I think, a few months back. And on the West Coast, it's not that they don't have that much majority over here.
Because we've seen such kind of protests in several of such cases. It's also gone violent, but there's not been enough of a crackdown. Sameer, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. You were very brave in the face of such a protest that could have gone violent as well. Thank you for joining us.